been, we had one of the first women's studies programs in the country.
Right.
I think I taught one of the first lesbian psych courses ever.
Wow.
And
when was that? Do you recall?
It would have been probably in the early 90s. I recall we had a van going to a meeting from Amherst over here to eastern Massachusetts, and I happened to be with the chair of the curriculum committee and maybe the department chair and what all. And they had just done the search of our course offerings, and just to see what we weren't really offering that we should be doing. And so they said, Bonnie, we need some health psychology. Would you be interested? I said, well, no, but I could do lesbian psych. At which point they got real excited, and you'd have thought I'd endowed a building.
Wow.
And again, it was that kind of department and that kind of university, very forward thinking. And so they went back, and I put a proposal together, and they took it to the faculty senate, and they made it a general education requirement. Or not, there were a number of general education courses, and you could, you were required to take some of them. So that was great fun.
Yeah. How did the students react? How were your...
They were wonderful. The first class I taught was like 25 or 30, and there were a lot of men in the class. And what they did, they each had to do some sort of project. I don't even remember what they were, but one small group decided to do a gay awareness day. And so they had what they thought of as feminist music and gay music, and they had a big rally on the steps, and there was a lot of stuff in the newspaper about it, and that was all student run. Then I started teaching. The class popped up to 90, and I remember going into class one day, or the first day of class, and these tall black men were coming into class, and one of the TAs came up and said, "That's the boys' basketball team, or the men's basketball team." Well, I had my name was up in the athletic offices. I hope it wasn't because I was an easy grader, but because I especially would I was teaching mostly psych with women, and I would let the women out for their softball games and their basketball games, and didn't penalize them for being away or whatever. So folks knew it was a course that they would be free to go out. So anyway, the boys decided that they were going to take the Lesbian Experience. Psychology of Individual Differences, the Lesbian Experience. And I don't know what they knew they were getting into, but they quickly determined that they were not lesbians, but that they certainly shared some of the same oppression and discrimination. And so these kids, everybody had to read some novel, and these kids had not read anything, but several of them chose The Color Purple. And one guy, Monty Mack, came up to me after class one day, and he said, "I read that book, and I couldn't believe that." And I called my mama, and we talked for an hour and a half on the phone, and she cried, and I cried. And so again, the kids, and then they were also supposed to go see these films. Well, these guys didn't get around to seeing the films, so their academic tutor got the films. We called it the first gay and lesbian historical film fest in the athletic department. And as they had the films, these boys would, these guys, these men would get all interested in it, and if they saw that somebody was going to be harassed, they said, "No, you can't do that." And anyway, I think they went out converted supporters of the lesbian community.
That's really neat.
But it was, again, those were heady times too. They were just within the university. I know that things went on all the time, but again, it was just this business of not realizing what a difference it was